Hey everyone, Avros here, back with the next Lufenia fight. This is against the boss for the Eald'narche Lost chapter, so this is against the Aloof Horn boss, and it's two adds that it likes to keep repeatedly summoning. So for this boss, it does have a orb that appears after the target lock released happens. So this happens around 87% HP, will happen once it gets a turn, it seemed from my testing in the fight that I did, after it gets like the sort of the silver frame border around its turn on the turn tracker. After it's had its turn, that lock will be released, and that's when the countdown will appear. The orb does have a 15 count to start with, and disappears once the boss gets to 49% HP and does not come back. According to research and things I could find online, mostly using the Tonberry Troop site for my info, it says that the bravery count does go up as long as its bravery is less than 10,000, and that will increase the count on the orb by 1. I didn't have too much trouble with dealing with this one. A good strategy for dealing with this boss is to delay it once it gets the sort of the orb up. Once you kill the adds, if you're using Ramuh as your summon, you can use him to inflict a paralysis effect the boss isn't immune to, as it's normally immune to paralysis, and then just delay the boss a bunch, making sure he can't resummon his adds, because while those are up, he can't be delayed. And then once you're done with that, you can sort of get him down to a point where he no longer has the orb, like I did in this fight, as you'll see a bit later on, and then you can deal with him from there. Other key things to keep in mind: this boss does absorb holy and dark elemental damage, so Paladin Cecil, who was very useful recently, don't bring him to this fight. As I said, he's immune to delay when the adds are present. He also resummons the adds about every 10 of your turns, or after he does his recast ability. He will resummon them or full heal them if you have not killed them yet. If he is paralyzed from the Ramuh paralysis from his summon, then you'll see it come up constantly when he's trying to resummon them that he can't act due to Judgment Bolt. So that's a good way to prevent him from resummoning the adds for a prolonged period of time if you're delaying the boss. The adds can also do something really annoying in this fight. This is again based on research I've found from a few different sources online. It didn't happen to me, where they can move the boss's turn right up after theirs. Also, another thing to keep in mind, at 49% HP when he gets rid of the orb, he gains a 150k bravery shield and a 999% bravery damage reduction buff that you'll need to get rid of. If you're using, say, like I did, Aerith in this fight to prevent him from being able to gain buffs, that's a very good way to prevent that massive bravery reduction. Otherwise, you'll need to bring a dispeller, someone like Balthier to steal the buff, or somebody else who can dispel it. Arciela would be another great example, or just put enough framed debuffs on the boss that they can't actually put it up themselves would be another way to handle that one. And that basically covers everything that the Aloof Horn will do in this fight, so I'll just talk through my team. They've been on screen for a while now, probably fighting the boss. So I brought along Lightning, Aerith, and Eald'narche. Always good to bring synergy units for their own fight if you can find a way to make them work. I brought along Lightning because she does a lot of single target damage, and my plan was to delay the boss as much as possible so I didn't have to deal with the adds, so I could just utilize all of Lightning's power to make that all work out for the best for me for this fight. Aerith, again, to prevent the boss from being able to buff itself, using the Seal Evil and everything there, and Eald'narche to get as much terror up as possible for clearing the boss of being able to attack when that paralysis did run out from Ramuh, as well as trying to just deal with the adds because of how much AoE DPS he does put out. And so for calls on those, I brought Jack along for Lightning, maximize how much damage output she could do during her burst phase. Did bring Arciela to possibly use her HP disable if I had to. I didn't actually end up using it in this fight. I brought Ramza along to get some extra delay and launch as well. And for my friend unit, I brought along Ramza, and so wanted to use him along with his burst to increase again Lightning's damage during her burst phase and to get some more launch and delay. So that was what I brought along for this fight. I'm not entirely sure if there's any other strategies out there worth doing other than sort of trying to go for that delay. This fight, from all the research I could find, is incredibly annoying to deal with if you try and fight it legit and don't try and do as much delay as you possibly can. So other delayers you could probably bring that would be very useful. Emperor, a lot of AoE damage there to deal with the adds, as well as delay from his LD and everything there. You could just, of course, terror lock them using Eald'narche to prevent the boss from having as many turns as possible, and just try and deal with the adds and clear them out as best you can. Of course, you need to deal with that bravery reduction buff at the 49% HP. If you can't deal with that, then there's no real way of clearing the fight. So Aerith are, again, like I said, buff removers would be the best way to deal with that one. Hopefully these tips are going to be enough to help you get through the fight if you're struggling with this one. If you do have any questions, do ask them down below. I'll do my best to answer. As I said, I'm using data from the Tonberry Troop. They've got great guides on how to deal with these Lufenia fights. I use a lot of that information for getting my teams together and going through the initial boss covers in the start of these videos. So yeah, definitely check them out as well. And thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video.
飽きちゃった。 潰れろ。焼き付けろ。受けろ。力貸して。やーっ。蹴散らす。仕留める。受けろ。そうだ。消えちゃえ。焼き付けろ。受けろ。切り裂く。そりゃあ。蹴散らす。私の番。逃がさないよ。蹴散らす。受けろ。私の番。逃がさないよ。ここは譲れない。僕は臆病者だ。それでも迷います。終わらせてあげるよ。焼き付けろ。受けろ。蹴散らす。魂を引き出す。はあ。虚空を貫け。逃がさないよ。切り開く。うるさいやつだ。逆らうな。仕留める。魂を引き出す。はあ。虚空を貫け。逃がさないよ。切り開く。 焼き付けろ。受けろ。切り裂く。そりゃあ蹴散らす。蹴散らす。終わりだ。食らって先行。刻み込め。轟け。運命を断つ。悪い。受けろ。トリプルプライク。焼き付けろ。受けろ。消えちゃえ。蹴散らす。てあっ。魂を引き出す。はあ。虚空を貫け。逃がさないよ。切り開く。終わらせてあげるよ。受けろ。助かっちゃった。やー。潰れろ。焼き付けろ。受けろ。頑張るから。いい子にしてるの。蹴散らす。はあ。仕留める。力貸して。おとなしくしなさい。魂を引き出す。はあ。虚空を貫け。切り開く。終わらせてあげるよ。切り裂く。そりゃあ受けろ。受けろ。 けろ。行くか。蹴散らす。であっ。やっ。受けろ。潰れろ。大地の息吹よ。仕留める。力貸して。やっ。そーら。焼き付けろ。蹴散らす。そこ、捕らえました。覚悟はいいですか。頑張るから。いい子にしてるの。切り裂く。そりゃあ。蹴散らす。逃がさないよ。私の番。受けろ。焼き付けろ。行くか。仕留める。蹴散らす。仕留める。受けろ。消えちゃえ。力貸して。おとなしくしなさい。であっ。終わらせてあげるよ。潰れろ。いけるぞ。 大地の息吹よ。うるさいやつらだ。蹴散らす。力貸して。おとなしくしなさい。消えちゃえ。焼き付けろ。仕留める。終わらせてあげるよ。潰れろ。潰れろ。頑張るから。いい子にしてるの。潰れろ。仕留める。消えちゃえ。歯向かうには弱すぎたね。